We have a backdrop of surging inflation, prompting the likes of the Fed to consider perhaps a 100 basis point hike. How might that play out in economies like South Africa?
Of course, South Africa's economy is highly integrated into the global economy. Whatever happens in the global economy will have spillovers into the South African economy. The content and nature and extent of that thing we don't know at this stage. We can't figure out, but it will have an impact.
Right. We've been talking about surging debt. We've seen Sri Lanka defaulting. Pakistan may head that way. The likes of Egypt, Tunisia are at risk as well. How do you see the debt situation in emerging economies, in foreign nations?
Yeah, generally, because you have seen rising interest rates, then it's likely to have an impact in poor nations. But in the case of South Africa, we have been prudent fiscal over the past few years. We don't have that much challenge. We anticipate to reach a budget surplus over the next 2 years.
What you have is an energy crisis, 26 days of rolling blackouts. Might that impact your economy? How will that play out? Will you have to revise your growth projection for the year?
Look, it has been a challenge for 14 years, by the way. We started having outages from 2008, and Ricardo Hausman estimates that those outages over the years have cost about 40% of our underperformance. So the outages are very challenging for us. Hence, we're beginning now to introduce emergency measures in the form of emergency procurement of new capacity, emergency maintenance and ramping up maintenance. And I think the President is working on that, will be telling the nation of those efforts in due course.
Is your GDP projection for the year at risk?
Not at this stage. Not at this stage, including the inflation. If we look at what the projection by the central bank is, that we are likely to have 5.9, which will not breaking the upper limit this year. And next year will still be between high, but on the upper side of the range.
Right.
So we're not expecting at the moment much challenge. Our key problem is the growth issue and the unemployment.
There's an energy crisis. We have the very strong dollar as well. No signs of easing. Might it impact your effort to rein in debt?
Yeah, it might. I mean, there are a number of challenges which may impact on us reining our debt, but we are carefully watching those what are downside risk and building appropriate buffers to deal with them.
Lots of other challenges as well, including food shortage. In fact, 71 million more people are living under the poverty line. Do you think the continent is at risk, and what's your own observation so far?
Yeah, very difficult depending on the fiscal positions of those different countries. It's likely to have a much impact. There's estimate that now just about 50 million, another 51 million people have been pushed to under poverty line. So it's quite a challenging issue. In the case of South Africa, we've put some measures to cushion the impact on the vulnerables.
Minister, I just want to touch on very quickly on Eskom. It is piling debt. Is there reason to think that it will continue to do so? Is there light at the end of the tunnel?
Look, the Eskom debt, I mean, when I listen to people accuse you on the market are saying there's no doubt that Eskom debt will have, one way or the other, the sovereign will have to step in. What form, what it will take, I don't know at this stage.